aiming to touch the lives of people living there in the Indo-Pakistan border cities. The National Service Scheme Unit of Ramlal Anand College, University of Delhi, organized a 7-day special camp in Jaisalmer. The camp not only focused on the lives of people living there, but also gave many lessons to the batch of volunteers, thus making the camp remain etched in our hearts and minds. तो आइए आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारी उन यादों की गुलशन में. Starting at 8 a.m. on 2nd of February at the Old Delhi railway station was the beginning of our camp and the train journey from Delhi to Jaisalmer. On our way, we witnessed numerous hills from the Aravalli ranges, a lot of forested area, and the salt-rich Sambhar lake. The halts served as the perfect breaks to the tiring yet enjoyable journey. It was 3 in the morning of 3rd of February that we reached Jaisalmer. A bus took all the volunteers and professors to the nearby Seemajan Kalyan Samiti's hostel. After having the breakfast, we started our actual camp and social service at Sonu village, where the volunteers interacted with students of grade 9th and 12th and guided them.
आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम जयंती है
और आपका स्कूल का नाम?
मेरे स्कूल का नाम राजकीय उच्च माध्यमिक विद्यालय सोनू.
After in line was the Ranao village, which was in the middle of the vast Indian Great Desert. There also volunteers interacted with students and made them aware about the future opportunities. By evening, we reached the North village, which is near Indo-Pakistan border, which is about 30 kilometers away from the border and played an important role during the 1971 war.
उस समय जो पाकिस्तान के पास में जो थे वो बम गिरे थे, लेकिन इस माता तनोट की कृपा से एक भी बम नहीं फटा.
Herein, we got to meet women who are involved in the small-scale business like sewing. Visiting the whole village was a great experience. Here, the volunteers played along with the children and the cattle, and watching Tanot Mata's Aarti served as the perfect positive start to the camp. And the next morning witnessed beautiful rain shower and we kicked off to the Indo-Pakistan border. Visiting the zero line was an enthralling experience for all the 44 volunteers. The BSF Jawans near the border on the duty briefed us about its significance, current situation on both the sides and a lot more. The next stop was the Longiwala, where the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971 took place. There, we saw abandoned weapons, tanks, and much more at the War Museum. Gamnewala was also paid a visit by the volunteers to conduct a quick survey about the condition of villages in the border areas. There was more to 3rd February than pure patriotism. That was the sand dunes of Sam. There, the volunteers enjoyed the typical desert, doing activities ranging from going on a safari, watching cactuses, riding camels, to being absolutely spellbound by the sunset. This was not it. After looking at the enormous garbage generated by the tourism industry, we knew our duties. The group conducted a cleanliness drive at the dunes and dumped the garbage safely at the nearest collection center. The evening was spent at Sam, engrossed in the rich culture and heritage of the vast desert. It's truly a realm where the history dances with the present and every sand dune whispers the tales of valor and love. After the evening at Sam, we moved to our second and final place for stay, Sri Maheshwari Seva Sadhan. The third day of our camp was the adventurous one. We started out by visiting the abandoned wrecks of village Kuldhara. Its history and architecture were worth spending time for. We then moved to village Damodar, where we interacted with villagers. While most women were facing problems but couldn't do anything about it, we witnessed an awe-inspiring story of a woman taking charge of the family and their expenses. Her family's support to her was incredible and even enabled her to monetarily support the renovation of their home. This is followed by the cleaning initiative at the nearby lake. The dusk of 5th February was spent with the students living at the Simajan Kalyan Samiti's hostel, where we had cultural evening with the students and the volunteers performed various activities together. This was an indulgence filled with the cultural heritage and lessons of unity in diversity and brotherhood.
ना समझ तू खुद को अकेला, ना गुरूर रिश्तों का रख, जीवन ये अस्थाई है, कौन आज तक ये चक्रव्यूह भेद पाया।
Our destination for the 6th of February was the Amarsagar village. The village had about 500 families and our task was to cover at least 200 of them. So we divided ourselves into the groups of 5 people and each group went to different areas of the enormous village. Upon covering 20 families, we realized that there were greater depths to the village society than what we were seeing. After the hectic day, our volunteers get to meet the BSF Jawans in the cantonment area. There, we interacted with over 15 Jawans, both males and females. We also interacted with the senior officer, which was indeed fruitful, and one of them gave us the mantra for life, that was to gain mental strength and to stay physically, mentally, and emotionally strong so as to navigate through the hardships of life. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of the shark. Well said by Worcestershire. Refugees are not just a number, but the stories waiting to be heard. After interacting with numerous types of people, we headed straight to the refugees colonies of Jaisalmer. The volunteers were divided into the group of 20 each and were sent to two different colonies of refugees. There, we got to know the people who came to India during 1950s, 1970s and even 2010. Many of them even came during COVID-19 pandemic due to the poorer conditions of our neighbors and in respect to the COVID-19 and the atrocities faced otherwise as well. We got to know what all they did to settle themselves into these colonies and how hard it was for them to open up to strangers as they always feared of being sent back. Near to the refugees camp was the school for the specially abled students. Herein, we got to experience the difficulties faced by the small kids who lost their senses or multiple ones. Getting to interact with them made us all even more empathetic towards the specially abled people. As correctly said, you are not disabled by your disabilities, but you are able by your abilities. Many students could overpower their disabilities and were able to hold conversation with the volunteers and even help them interact with other students. The final leg of the camp was the day submerged with the beauty and the very essence of Jaisalmer, the Golden City. Started by cleaning the surroundings. We headed straight to the scenic Jaisalmer fort and spent the afternoon there. The evening turned out to be more relaxing as we did something meaningful for the aquatic life of the Ghadisar Lake. For over 30 minutes, volunteers religiously cleaned the surroundings of the lake and made it free from any non-biodegradable waste. The camp activities were summed up by the mesmerizing sunset that we witnessed from the boat in the middle of the lake. Those pink and purple hues will always remain engraved in our hearts for years and years and shall always remind us of this beautiful camp. pre-dawn hours of 9th of February, we boarded our train back to Delhi, and after the 19 hours train journey, we came back to national capital and into our daily lives. Thank you for watching an account of our camp and the fruitful time we spent there.